We're sure that you've all received the P.E.R.F. report. Okay. If elected mayor of the city of Akron, what proactive steps would you take as it relates to addressing the 21 recommendations that were identified in the report? What would be the proactive steps that you would take? It is the police, what is it? Police Research Forum. I can read notes too as well. Thank you for that.
Specifically, having worked my way through it, there are a lot of good recommendations. The two that I see that you can do right away, and the report's 4 years old, but it also, it's the command structure of the police department and how it engages the community. All of these things, when you start with a model that how best can we serve you as opposed to what do you want? And I tell you what, when I got to the clerk's office, one of the things that I wanted to improve, and I know it kind of segues a little bit away from that, was how we treated our customers. Well, the city has a lot of customers, period. Whether it's somebody that they pulled over, whether it's a water complaint, whether it's somebody that calls in, the first response can't be, what do you want? It's like, how can I help you? And then you take it from there. And it's the same thing that the P.E.R.F. report has to change some of the attitudes. So I would say I would start with the command structure and the Office of Professional Accountability to be able to institute some of those standards. When someone teaches something, when you teach an adult or a child that this is the way you do things, they're going to keep doing it until they don't have to get away with it anymore, unless you show them the difference. And that means better training within our Akron, within all our safety forces. And to tell you the truth, I don't even like to use the word forces. Why isn't it safety personnel? Force kind of indicates the word that that's what they're doing all the time. It's not. They should be there to help and to serve. And I think they do an excellent job of doing that.
I've had the privilege of having reviewed the P.E.R.F. report from when it was first released, and a lot of what I've been doing as a criminal defense attorney and what I've been doing has been calling for these changes. I've been on the front lines advocating for these changes, and the very first thing that I would do, and I think it's a very good recommendation, is that the chief of police position should not be a unionized position. It is an executive position that reports to the mayor's office. Putting the chief on a contract, because at the end of the day, the mayor is the chief law enforcement officer, and you can't have someone on your team that's working against you because of the union contract. The second thing is implement a citizens advisory board. Now, what a lot of you may not remember is that back in 2006, 2007, when we had the Vincent shooting, because of my social justice efforts in getting in the trenches and preventing a 16-year-old child from being railroaded, the city implemented the police auditor. However, the problem with that is that they did not give the city auditor any type of budget or any type of authority to do anything. So in conjunction with the city auditor and the Citizens Advisory Board, I would implement those items immediately so that we can address the social justice issues. And we need to change the command structure of our police department.
Okay, many of the issues that were in the P.E.R.F. report are items that will have to be negotiated with the police union. So let's kind of take some of those out of the equation when we start. But I will talk about them in terms of what I will be moving forward on. Clearly, many of the issues, and this is my second time reading the report. I read it earlier when it came out. Many of the issues that are in there are basic human resources issues, like regular reviews and different things. Those are things that can easily be put into place, should be in place already, and it's pretty disturbing to see that they're not in place, because those are some of the very basic things that you would use in order to evaluate a person for a promotion or a leadership role or one of the specialty positions. So we need to really work on that piece. Some of the things have been put in. The chief is currently under a contract, and clearly that has worked well to this point. The auditor position, it's almost an impossible situation that has been created for the police auditor. I would immediately have the police auditor properly funded, with staff. Right now it's a part-time position and no staff. Job can't be done. He's working hours he's not getting paid for. That's wrong. Second, the police auditor should not be reporting to the mayor. The police auditor should be reporting to a civilian board. And that's what immediately will happen, and I can do that within my own authority as mayor.